Good morning, welcome to Stretch. Today is July 24th, 2020. Hope you're having a great week and that this Friday is treating you well. Today's point of stretch class is for emotion release. So hopefully you get a lot of good deep breaths out of this. Hopefully you get some great stretches through your muscles, lengthening of those muscles in the process. What I will say, some of the things that we're going to be doing may involve you being on your knees or your knees being bent in a tight spot. So what I'll suggest, grab before you start either a folded up towel, blanket, or cushion. You can have that to go under the knee or to go particularly when we're sitting back on knees. So that'll give your knee a little bit of a break. I know I have one regular that mom that watches and does these with me, and she needs a little modification for the knees. So take it easy on those knees if you need to. All right, so the one thing I emphasize every time I get together with y'all is make sure you're doing diaphragmatic breaths. Diaphragmatic breaths come from the diaphragm. Secondary muscles are your chest. So always start by relaxing your face, relaxing your body. Put one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest and just get in touch with your breath. If your chest is rising more than your belly is, your belly should push out as your diaphragm expands with an inhalation, and it should come back in as you exhale. Your chest will rise some, but it shouldn't be the first thing that moves. So let's go ahead and do that. Sit up nice and tall. This is just easy pose, crisscross applesauce we call it with our kids. Relax the face. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep going with those breaths. I found myself that as I was breathing, I was forgetting to exhale through my mouth. Just let that jaw drop. Exhale gently through that mouth, but relax your face. Oftentimes we purse our lips. We'll do all kinds of different things. Let's take 2 more good deep breaths with a relaxed face. In through the nose, out through the mouth. All right, wonderful. All right, the first stretch that I want to do is in your upper body. I'm going to reverse my feet because they're a little uncomfortable. All right, so the trapezius is kind of a diamond-shaped muscle that goes from your neck area out your shoulders, and it kind of goes down narrow into the center of your back. It's a big muscle. When you stress out, your shoulders will come up. That shrug is done by your traps. So let's stretch that out. So I want you to, you can mirror me. I'm going to take my right hand, put it behind me. You take your left, put it behind you, and just let that shoulder drop. Take your right hand, take your middle finger, put it on your ear, take your right ear toward your right shoulder, just gently pulling it over. Couple deep breaths. That a moment. I'm going to release. Every time you do a stretch, I want you to aim to hold it for at least 30 seconds. There is an actual scientific reason for that. I won't get into it here, but hold a stretch for 30 seconds if you want it to lengthen the muscle back out to its normal size. All right, so we just did your right traps. Let's go ahead and take your right hand now. Drop it behind your back, just behind your backside if you can. Drop that right shoulder down. I'm mirroring you. Take your left hand, middle finger goes to ear. Your left ear goes toward your left shoulder. A few deep breaths, aim for 30 seconds. stretch. Go into and out of it very gently, slowly. All right. The next stretch is a little different. Excuse me. I want you to take and leave one foot where it is crossed in front of you. Take the other foot, if you're mirroring me, it would be your left foot. Cross it over that right leg, again mirroring me. And I'm going to take my left hand, this would be your right. Put your elbow behind your knee, that's crossed over, and stretch out. This is a great stretch for hip flexors, for your low back, hip extenders, not hip flexors. Again, into and out of the stretches very easily and gently. We're going to slowly come out of this stretch. Release vertebra by vertebra. Nice and straight alignment. Okay. The foot that was crossed over is now my crossed in front of me foot. So that would be, if you're mirroring me again, your left leg. So my right, or your right rather, I'm getting all crossed up. Your right is going to cross over your left. Take your left elbow, put it in front of that knee, and I want you to twist yourself gently over to the side. So it'd be 90 degrees from where you were beginning when you were facing. You may find that one side is a little tougher to do than the other. That just means that it's tighter than the other side. Hold with it and don't force anything, but do hold that stretch so it's challenging you but not straining you. You may even feel this stretch in your upper body, but most of the stretch should be through your hips, right around the glutes area. Relax those faces. All right. Slowly coming out of that Lord of Fishes pose, we're going to go down to Child's Pose. So I'm going to have you get on your knees. This again is where the modification of the blanket behind the knees will be helpful. For those that don't need a modification, just sitting down on those feet, and you're going to fold forward, rest your forehead on the mat in front of you, and outstretch those arms above your head. Inflate your belly against your thighs. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Relax your face. Relax your shoulders. Relax your hips and your feet. Open your eyes for a moment and glance down between your knees to your feet. If your toes are pointed in, try and angle them out a little bit. Just align those feet with your legs. Take one more deep breath. Relax your face. Don't purse the lips as you exhale. It's more of a huff. Just let your jaw drop. All right, slowly come out of that. From here, what I want to do is take us up. Keep one foot back, underturn your toes, take the other foot forward. You're going to lean into that front leg, pull the back leg, knee away from you. This is a low lunge. What I want you to do is gently, if you can, take your hands straight up in the air. Palms are facing each other, fingertips upward. Really let yourself stretch that hip flexor, which is the front part of your thigh. Just sink into it. I'm going to use a little padding under my knee if you need that. You can double up your mat, do whatever you need to. Just protect your knees. If If your shoulders are shrugged up to your ears, drop them down. All right, slowly coming out of that, we're going to reverse and do the opposite legs this time. Leg, rather. All right. So make sure you're pushed into that front leg. That front leg is supporting you. The back leg is stretching the upper thigh to the hip flexors. You should feel this through your quads as well. That back leg, you may be wondering, what do I do with my foot? All you're doing is letting it flop. The sole of your foot should be facing up, fully extended from your leg. Drop the shoulders if they're up. Take a couple deep breaths. If you're having trouble with balance, don't close your eyes, but if you can, close your eyes. Try and sink a little further into this stretch. Remember, inflate that belly with your inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth as the belly deflates. Great job. Slowly come out of that. Push back a little bit into the back leg. We're going to lift up. Keep your legs positioned where they were. Just come up on your feet this time. What I want to do is take us to a warrior pose, and I'm actually going to reverse my feet. You stay where you were, but for the sake of showing instructionally. Toes are pointed forward. You're going to bend into that front leg. Let that back leg stretch. All right, so this is warrior pose. Hands go up like they were just now in your low lunge. Now with this one, I want you to look at your toes or think about where your toe positioning is. Both feet, toes pointed forward. We're stretching out those calves, stretching out the hamstrings, and you should even feel a little bit of a stretch through your hip flexor areas. All right, from here, out turn your back foot so it's 90 degrees from your front foot. So your front foot, toes are forward, back foot, toes are out. This is a hip opener. Your hands go down, forward, and back. Straight out, full extension from your shoulders. You should feel a good stretch through your adductors, insides of those thighs. I love using these poses for stretches because they're a little less boring than just stretching. All right, from here, I'm going to have you reverse directions. So where your toes were, aim them in the other direction. We're going to start with the first warrior pose that we did. Toes are straight ahead. Go into the front leg, bend that front knee rather. Hands go up, or make sure your shoulders are dropped. If they're up, roll the scapula down and back. Press that back heel into the floor. You're not really letting your front leg support you necessarily. You're pressing into that back leg. So you get a full stretch. You should feel through your Achilles, through your ankle perhaps, the calf, hamstrings, may even take it up into the glute if you're lucky. Relax the face. Again, exhalation is going to come out your mouth just through a slack jaw, more of a huff. Give me a huff. Now slow the breath this time. That feeling where your jaw is. All right, drop the arms, out turn the back foot. Again, 90 degrees from where your front foot is. So your toes and your back foot should be aiming toward your screen. Bend that front leg. Arms go out, full extension from the shoulders. Fix your gaze ahead of you. Let those hips open. It's a great adductor stretch. I want you to distribute your weight so your your front leg is not holding all of the burden of the weight, but that you're kind of distributing between the two legs. There'll be a little bit more on the front, but not all of it. to do Garland pose. So take your toes, point your feet straight towards your screen. Put your hands in prayer. I want you to just bend down into a big low squat. Put your knees wide. Drop your bottom. And just allow those elbows to press inside those knees. Make sure your toes are pointed straight ahead. Open up those hips. Let your emotions flow out of your exhale. How about you? But my flexors are a little tight. If this is tough on your knees, take your feet a little closer together. There you go. All right. Come out of that one a little bit. I'm going to have you have a seat. Oh, hello knee. Mine does that a lot. All right, so what we're doing next is Cobbler's pose. You're taking the soles of your feet and putting them together. If you have trouble doing this, your feet can be further away from you. There's no shame, no problem with that. Put your soles of your feet rather together. If you want more of a stretch, pull your heels closer to you. I like to intertwine my fingers around my toes. It allows me to extend my spine a little bit. Do what's comfortable for you. Some people do like to bend over the feet. I like to protect my back a little bit more. So if you have any kind of bone issues, any alignment issues, straighten that back out and just let it stretch. A few deep breaths. If you find your shoulders are tense, drop them and roll them back. Drop the scapula behind you. Again, if you want to get even more into this stretch, just walk your hands out in front of you. Let your head drop. Just relaxed. One more deep breath. Exhale out any negative emotions, anything that's pulling you down. Let it flow out of you as you exhale. All right. Slowly coming out of that, I'm going to have you take your legs nice and wide. All right, some of you may be thinking I'm a little nuts for this one. What I want to do is bend into those wide legs. Same thing that similar what we've done before, stretching those adductors and the insides of the legs all the way down. Allow your feet to come in a little bit. Some of you may get a little wider, some not so wide, and that's okay. We all have our own abilities. Work with your body. Reward your body. What you're doing with these stretches are rewarding. Make sure that you reward your body for the work it does for you all week long. Just stretch those legs out. If this is too much on the knees, again, you can pad up the knees a little bit. Put something under either knee and just stretch through like that. That one's totally fine. This is more of a modification. If you need the modification, use it. It's well worth doing. All right, one of my favorites now. Swing the legs together. Do it slowly, but swing them around. And have you lie back on your back, supine position. So you're looking up at the ceiling. So the feet should be on the floor. Take one leg in. So one knee is coming toward your chest. You can just grab that knee from behind. Other leg comes towards the chest. All right. Take your soles of your feet and put them up toward the ceiling. You probably know where I'm going with this. I want you to grab for the outsides, bottoms of your feet and pull them down toward you. Again, if the shoulders are coming up, check them, roll them down. Allow those knees to come down toward the floor. If you can't reach the bottoms of your feet, grab around your leg and just pull it down as you can. Okay? The only thing with that is you just don't get the best grip. So Aim for the bottoms of the feet. This is Happy Baby, one of my favorites. Rock back and forth. Allow those hips to sink down. This may relax your low back just a little bit. You didn't even know that you had it tense, but now you do. Deep breaths. Your belly should be inflating against your thighs a little bit. Remember to relax your face. One more big deep breath. Well done. Slowly bending those legs. Plant your feet in the floor. From there, I do want you to, and I'm going to rotate my body a little bit, I want you to extend your legs straight out. Allow enough space that they're just comfortably on the floor. Take your hands, put your palms up, roll those shoulders down if they're up. This is your final Savasana. The whole idea of this is just to let every negative thought, emotion flow out of your body and to end in a relaxed state. Close those eyes if they're not closed. Deep breath in your mouth, in your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And relaxed right now. Keep deep breathing. I'm going to come out of mine. Deep breaths in your final Savasana. Thanks for joining me for stretch. Remember to always listen to your body. They tell us more than you think. If you're finding that you're finding little pains here and there, little aches, emotions that are out of control, it could be that your body just needs to get to a point of relaxation. If our bodies are not relaxed, our minds will have a hard time relaxing, and vice versa. Listen to your body. If your heart's feeling burdened, find a way to relax your body. Oftentimes, the heart will flow from that as well. If I can help you in any way, please reach out. My email address is ehabeger, H-A-B for boy, E-G-E-R, @gmail.com. Check me out on my Facebook page, Instagram as well, and let me know how I can help you. Have a wonderful weekend and be peaceful. Bye, friends.